Okay, we're recording now.
Okay, now we're good.
Woo! Yay! We're back after the Halloween break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haunting.
Yeah. Life. Busy.
Man.
Yay.
Talk about busy. I bet this man is busy.
Probably.
Not now.
No.
It's
But
actually, I just got all the wood done. I told you I got my ponds winterized, so it's time to relax.
Yeah.
I got a fire ready to light when I get home.
Nice.
So yeah, things are good.
Break out the hot chocolate.
Yeah, or wine or old fashions, maybe.
Old fashioned, yeah. Some Jameson.
Yeah. It's not a bad way to go.
No.
So who do we have today? Who is
Jack.
Jack? Hello?
Schinkel. Jack
Schinkel.
Schinkel. Yeah.
I always forget your last name.
Yeah. Well, it's you think that's bad? Try to spell it.
Oh, yeah. I'm really
And it's not
dyslexic.
bad, 'cause
I'm not that
They
guy.
put the L before the E and it's the E before the L. But yeah,
You know.
I'm with you. I'm not that great a speller, but
Yeah.
I usually know what the words mean. That's about it.
Right. That's all you need to know. You need to know how to read. That's it.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I like picture books. Because
Yeah,
they
me-
just tell you what to do, and you're like, yep, that's it. Right there.
That's why
I'm in.
comics are cool, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to put something together, like
Yeah.
a complicated couch. I wish they had more instructions besides the pictures.
Right?
Oh,
Like, just tell me.
Come on.
A plus B equals C. No, that's not. It's not
Maybe
how
like
this
your
works.
IKEA couch needs to come like with a manual, like your motherboard for your computer comes with.
man.
I think everything I own has like extra parts.
Yeah.
Not supposed to.
I know exactly what you mean. I say just in case I figure it out someday.
Yeah.
But other than that,
So you have a lot of experience in the haunted house industry. Would you like to tell us about
I
it?
would say a little.
Yeah.
well, I've probably done it at least. I've been involved at least 35 or 36.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I started my first one when Jeff was about 3 years old,
Oh, shit.
Man.
Yeah.
and his brother was 4. And I made this goofy monster on a fan that would rotate. And I put a bushel basket over it. And I got seltzer, which is what they use. It looks like hay for air conditioners,
Yeah.
and made him into a monster.
Oh, nice.
And then I made that thing talk. And John and Jeff were fascinated
Oh, wow.
with that crazy thing. So next year, I decided to start building things. So I made a 6-foot paper mache mummy and a 7-foot Frankenstein, and I made a guillotine, cut the guy's head off, and it fell in a basket, and the head flipped over, and the eyes opened up.
Oh, wow.
And I made a witch that she stirred up, all this stuff. And I went to the boys club here in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
That was my first haunted house.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
And while I was in there, all these kids went through, and my stuff wasn't scary. It was
Right.
kind of interesting to look at.
Yeah.
And they had taco sauce in their hands, packages of taco sauce. They would go by there and hit that, and it would go all over everything. And I had some kind of a mask on, and one of them goes by and hits me right in the face. I said, I will never, ever do another haunted house. It's not scary. And then I went from that. I did a haunted house at Sacred Heart School. My kids went there for a couple of years, and I had to build it in one day, run it in one night, and take it down before the morning.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane.
wild.
So that's what you call drive.
Yeah.
So
That sounds like a long day.
it was.
Man.
Long couple of days.
I made this one thing. It was a coffin that opened up. And you look in there, and I got this guy. I burnt like cellophane kind of stuff on his face, and he looked like he was burnt. So he was in a coffin, and everybody would be looking at that thing. And I said, hey, if you look close enough, you could see his pulse in his neck. So they'd be looking, and at the end of it, there's a rope with a stick on it. Pull that thing sits up, and they're about crap.
That's
Hilarious.
So
amazing.
my brother, he played college football, defensive end, big guy. So I had him doing that one time. He pulled it so hard, the head flies up. And I was in a graveyard, and there were some nuns there. Flies right over the nuns, and they get so scared, they start doing this tap dance, and I know she peed her pants. So Anyway, that was kind of a fun haunted house, but it was,
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
over the years I've done, I did 6 of them in Pueblo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
I had 100 people working for me.
Oh wow.
We had an inside haunted house, outside haunted house. We were voted back then. It was a Nightmare on Aspen Street, the best haunted house in southern Colorado.
Oh, wow.
And John and Jeff were in high school, and they brought their friends in. It was a good haunted house. I did some illusions and things, and so in between the tours, they're out there with their friends fighting on the grass. And I'm like going freaking crazy because all these people are just about to go into the haunted house, and they're out. So I go yell at them, bring them all in, put them in positions. So I made it was a creature from the Black Lagoon, and I had a trampoline and I had a boat, and it looked kind of like the boat was in the water. And the creature from the Black Lagoon, my son John, jump off, hit the trampoline, fly through the air. The guys in the boat,
sounds amazing.
he ripped them down and pulled them down. And then I had these trap doors right by where everybody's watching, and the next thing you know, these guys just pop up right in front of them. That was kind of fun.
Yes. Hilarious.
But I've done, you name it, I've done that kind of haunted house.
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah, I know one time when I was a teenager, we went to a haunted house in Pueblo. That was like in the old, it was right across the street from the steel mill. It was like in the old steel mill museum. It was pretty cool.
I heard about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a
Did it have anything to do with
contamination
trains at all?
No, it was more like a zombie outbreak
Okay.
thing, if I remember right.
Yeah. When I
It's
left
pretty
there,
cool.
they had some, I never did get to say it, but it was something that involved with trains. It was
Cool.
supposed to be pretty neat and stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, I know there's some pretty cool haunted houses out there that involve, I know there's one on a ferry boat
Yeah.
that's
In
on the
Pueblo?
Mississippi. No.
Oh, yeah.
It's out on the Mississippi.
Okay.
Kentucky's got an old riverboat one, USS Nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty fucking
Oh,
cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty
And that could
neat.
be the one I'm talking about for sure. So
There's a few of them that are boated, and they're scary as hell. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like the one in Kentucky that because I worked there once, and they have just like a night, but they have a hole in part of the walkway, so you walk and you have to walk around, and you can see the river going underneath
that's
you, and you're
pretty
like,
fun.
nah, I don't want to be there. That's some crazy shit. Like you're walking, and you're like,
Fish bait.
oh god, especially like the Ohio River.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with any other body of water except the Ohio River. No thanks.
yeah.
So I did 2 haunted houses in Canyon City at the Abbey.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was, my daughter was going to high school there, and so we did that there.
How was that?
It was good. Yeah. It was kind of a pain because you lived in Canyon City,
I did. Yeah.
driving back and forth.
Yeah. I used to drive an hour here to come to work.
Yeah.
And then also before I worked here in Springs, I'd also drive an hour to come do haunt as well.
And that's not the best road either.
No, 115 is.
It was my daughter got in a wreck on that thing,
Oh, yeah.
Man.
but that was notorious for being one of the most dangerous roads, I think, in Colorado.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people just trucks and
Yeah.
deer. And
And
I've
it's not,
never
not very wide.
had anything bad happen to me on 115. I hit a coyote one time and it did $5,000 worth of damage to my car.
Jeez. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It broke the bumper, broke the,
Wow.
it broke the, what's it called? The radiator, bracket.
Oh, my
It
gosh.
broke that bracket.
wow.
It broke the AC. Had to get a whole new AC condenser and get it recharged. And yeah, it did some serious damage. I hit that coyote. I was probably doing 75.
Did you keep the carcass at least? Damn.
No, it ran
Made of
off. I
steel?
couldn't find
What?
it.
Oh, the thing ran off?
Yeah. I couldn't find it.
Skinwalker.
you hit Superman. That's what you did.
Maybe.
He was doing a pop and squat, and then you hit him, and then he was like, man, fuck this, and flew out.
Not constipated anymore.
Yeah. Right.
He's like, thanks for the help.
Right. But yeah, I've seen some bad wrecks on 115.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Just people not paying attention or
Yeah.
going too fast or whatever. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the road you want to be on if it's snowy out. It's
No. It's
terrible.
narrow and
Well, good you got out of there. Then.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's terrible.
The worst part was driving back and forth building it.
Yeah.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
I pretty much had to build most of my haunted houses pretty much by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then every year we had to tear it down. And every year I'm never doing this again. And then 3 months into that,
Maybe I should do it
starting to
again.
get this itch. And then I
Yeah.
get the Morse Costume magazine and, I could do this, this, and this. Anyway, it's you guys probably know it's a big drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an addiction.
It is.
It is an addiction.
It's definitely not for the weak. If you just want to do it for the one
It's not.
month,
I always say it's not for sissies. I mean, honest to God,
like
people
it's
don't-
cool for the ones that do it for the month and then leave
Yeah.
and kind of do their thing. But it's really the ones like it's a very small handful that want to do it year
Yeah.
round.
Oh,
that are
yeah.
here, building, painting, coming up with new ideas, going out and talking to people through the off season, promoting their character, promoting their haunt,
there's a
promoting
lot.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I don't think anybody does that better than you.
I try.
I mean,
that's all I do.
You do a great job.
I just try. I'm just trying to spread the word of scary shit.
Right. Yeah.
I
feel
want
that.
everybody to pee their pants at least once in their life.
Speaking of scary shit, probably my favorite haunted house was I did 2 years at the Union Printers Home.
Yeah? How was that?
Cool.
That was unbelievable.
Because that building's
I started.
Scary.
I started. With help from Jeff and some people. Started in April, and I went all the way through. And by the time we opened, I just kind of finished. But it was a miracle that I was even able to get permission. The lady that I probably needed to speak to wasn't there. But the second in command was, and man, we hit it off. And yeah, she says, go for it.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
So I was in there and I built that thing. And we had back there, the old electric chair bouncing back and forth.
Right.
I was kind of big into skits. My haunted houses, a lot of them were, you bring in maybe 50 people at a time. And then, but that wasn't so much like that at the Union Printers Home, but that's kind of how I ran them. 50 people at a time, and you had 4 scenes. And the first scene, something would happen, and then nobody would be there because they all rotated. Every 12 minutes, they rotate.
Oh, wow.
And then we go 50, and then they just kept moving and moving. But one of the scenes I had is I had an electrocution thing going on, this thing, and people came in, sat down, and this guy was behind the curtain, and here comes the wardens and stuff. And as you're going by there's a door open, and they're shaving this guy's head off, getting ready to electrocute him and stuff. So they see this crazy guy. So they bring him out in handcuffs. They put him behind the curtain. And the next thing you know, because this guy, I had him look just about like the guy in the electric chair. He's sitting in the electric chair, and then next thing you know, they turn this on, and this thing really loud, and he's bouncing back and forth, screaming. I've had a lady go into labor. I don't know how many people peed their pants. One or two people fainted.
Oh, nice.
So funny.
Anyway, then after a while, they shut it off, and the curtains closed, and I had them put this guy on a stretcher. 2 guys, the guards, and they're taking him out, like a body, and they bring him right by the audience. The guy breaks out of the sheet and just jumps right at the people. And then,
Yes.
they just attack it, and that was the exit and stuff. But that was kind of how I did my haunted houses.
That's
I like
pretty
that.
cool.
But there was things in that haunted house, I swear to God, I couldn't explain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just a few. There was a lot of them.
Yeah. Like supernatural things? Or-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was there by myself, freaking midnight, doing things. And, some of them was, I'd walk under a light bulb, and I can't tell you how many times that light bulb would go off. I'd take a couple steps, it would come back on. I mean, that happened 50, 60 times. Even the outside street lights were doing that. And then one time, I dropped a cylinder. I made a gun that shot fireballs. So,
Oh, cool.
yes, I dropped the cylinder on the cement floor when we had everybody there. Thing landed like that, just like that. So man, that's pretty neat. So I had everybody come over and look at it. I swear to God, we were watching it, and it turns, it turns.
Oh, wow.
And then
Wow.
I made they're kind of like a grease pit where cars drive over and people are underneath it, the mechanics, and then they reach up and they change the oil.
Yeah.
So that was one of my rooms. I turned it into 3 graveyards. I had 3 tombstones, and I had artificial grass, made them look like graves.
Yeah.
And as this thing was progressing, the corpses would push their way through the grass like they're coming out of the graves, and then they just crawl right at the people. It was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
So one time, there's 3 people in there, and they all come out the one grave, and they would not go back in. They said they saw an extension cord. They said they saw an extension cord floating in the air.
What?
Whoa.
And they would not go back in.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
And then I had this bird. In fact,
Oh, you brought things.
Hell yeah.
it's this bird.
That bird.
This bird.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So this thing, you plug him in, and the only 2 ways he could talk is you push that button or you push this button, and he would say, "Beware, beware, the end is near." So as they're entering that grave place, this guy, he would give them a warning. So I couldn't get the stupid thing to talk. I don't know how many times I just cut the wire, splice the wire, in practice, because he'd never worked worth a crap.
Great.
So he never one time failed when people were there for real. I started to go in at night, and he, on his own volition, would start talking to me.
What?
Beware, beware. And he's off. Yeah, he wasn't even close to me. And this guy, he was saying, beware, beware.
Why is he
the end
looking
is
at
near.
me?
Yeah.
Look, his little eyes like looking at me.
And I,
What you looking at, homie?
And he finally broke, and I never could fix it. I was going to have Jeff give me a birthday present, fix this thing, because Jeff can just about fix anything.
I was going to say, he could probably fix it.
But anyway, this bird,
That's crazy.
He was one of the kind of the neatest things I had at the haunted house. And then the floating wires, and we'd go in there one time, and I had a jail. It was a 24-foot jail, and these people were behind the jail, and they had a machete, and they were cutting each other up and all this and that. And all these people come in, and I had this jail on wheels. So they come in there, and they're looking at this thing, and then these monsters would get up, and they didn't know it, but the jail cell would push. So they pushed the jail cell, and they just pushed these guys right up against the wall. And they'd reach out and grab them and stuff. And
That's crazy.
But the funny thing about that is there was an upstairs. We couldn't use the upstairs. And I swear to God, when I did this, all the rooms were intact. The beds and the closets and all the personal things. This guy had an artificial leg
Right.
laying on the bed. And and then they had a game room. And it looked like they were just playing checkers. And it looked like everybody left at the same time.
That's crazy.
And all their clothes and all that stuff was there. And so anyway, I always thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And a few years after that, I actually have some pictures.
Yeah.
They
Nice.
went through there, and they took out a lot of the furnitures. So all that was left was just piles of stuff on the floor and things like that. So I went in there with my cousin and her friend, and I forgot who all went there, but 3 or 4 of us, and they took pictures. And we have lots of orbs.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I can only imagine.
Do you have these pictures digitally?
Huh?
Do you have these pictures digitally?
Because we can put them up on the
I can
podcast,
play.
too.
I can.
Well, I got them here. So
Oh, cool.
I thought this was kind of neat.
Because
No
I've been
way.
editing people's photos and stuff like that. So
This was a UFO I built.
oh,
It
cool.
would actually fly,
Oh, wow.
and there was a kid in there driving it. This is the Citadel.
Shut up.
Oh,
It would
cool.
come out of the sky. And it was behind a big cloud. It had lightning and thunder. And this was a laser. It shot a 1/4-inch laser beam. And as he come down, I had him point this laser at a tree, and it would wind up and get louder, real loud. And I had explosives.
Oh, shit.
It hit that tree and blew up, and a branch would break off.
Hilarious.
This is amazing.
And then there were some people at the campfire. They were kind of setting the tone because they were kind of creeped out, and they said, "Well, we've heard about cattle mutilations and all this and that." And so then this UFO starts to come down, It blew the branch off the tree, then it aimed at these guys at the campfire, and the thing started getting louder and louder, and it blew up, and it blew these guys up, and I had them change masks, so the eye was coming out and stuff. And then the UFO would land, and those guys with the eyeballs coming out would get up and go at the audience, and then the aliens in the UFO would land and then come out at the audience, and that was one of my deals. It was a 12-minute thing. This was one of the 12 minutes and stuff.
Right.
And yeah, that's
awesome.
That's brilliant.
Wow.
But yeah,
That's crazy.
And a little kid, he was only 12 years old. He was flying that thing.
Oh, wow.
And I remember one night, the UFO wasn't coming down. Oh, shoot. So I moved everybody into the next room. I put a ladder up and go up there because this thing's 20 feet up in the air.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So the little kid fell asleep on the floor.
Oh, shit. He was like, screw it, I'm done.
So anyway, he woke up. And, I brought all the kids back, all the people back and stuff like that. But anyway, that was kind of fun. But
That's great. We need
Awesome.
to take pictures of some of these too, so we
That's
can put
what
them
I
out
was
there.
thinking.
it's kind of what
Yeah.
it looks like at night, the UFO.
Oh,
But
wow.
I built
That's
this thing,
awesome.
and it was a 500-pound winch, and I was in there by myself building this thing. I didn't know if it was going to work or not, man. I'm going to do that thing. This thing probably weighs, I don't know what it weighed, 300 pounds at least.
Oh, wow.
And I said, well, I hope this works. So I pushed the button. It goes up and down, and it worked. But I was a little bit nervous. But that was probably one of my favorite.
That's crazy. I love haunts that have like super cool animatronic stuff like that, like interactive thing. You know what I mean? Like animatronics are cool,
Yeah.
but like I like interactive animatronics.
is-
Like
yeah.
you had people coming out of it, you had somebody driving
Yeah,
it,
there's
you had
one
somebody
animatronic.
like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, damn, that's cool.
So this big thing right there, that's a laser gun.
Oh,
wow.
cool.
I'm telling you, that thing, it was a powerful laser gun.
That's cool.
That's insane.
I don't know how many. What do you guys want to see here? But
Whatever you want to show us.
Yeah.
We're happy to see.
so there's a theater there. Well, I told you about the rooms upstairs.
Yeah.
I'll just start showing you some of these pictures here. See if you can see any orbs in there.
Yeah, there's like 30 just in one page. Good God.
How many cigarettes did this person smoke? Jesus Christ.
That
Like,
place had to
This
have been
one here,
fun.
there's a turquoise,
that.
turquoise kind of one.
God.
Oh yeah. Well, look at that one there. I think that's pretty cool.
This one here's got like a whole bunch.
Yeah. Then here's a nice one there.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this is an interesting picture. They got an auditorium, and I just took a picture of the auditorium. This is the entrance of it, and then as soon as I got done with one, I took another one, and if you can see this, I swear to God, that looks like a spirit or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're definitely going to take pictures
You
of
could
this one and
almost-
we can put it up on the
You can
podcast.
almost make that out if you look at it real good.
Yeah. It's almost like a
It's there
kid.
and it's not there. Yeah, like a kid there and,
And
stuff.
what building was this at?
This is Union Printers Home.
Yeah. I've heard so many stories about that place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But they're just orbs after orbs after orbs.
Well, you've heard about this place, right?
What place?
This building.
No.
The guy on the front porch. So I want to say, what was it, 86 or 96? I can't remember what exactly year, but it was one of the two.
Yeah.
Over in those apartments right behind us, there was a girl and her husband who got into an argument. The guy was leaving. They started fighting in the parking lot. The fight came over to the front steps or entrance, and she gouged out his eyes.
Okay.
Well, the guy wound up dying, not because of the eye gouging, but because he choked on one of his eyeballs. And she had punctured it so far in and it dropped into his
Oh my
throat and he choked to
God.
death and he died on the stairs out front. And it, like 2 days later, one of the security guards that was driving around seen him and
Yeah.
reported it or whatever. But yeah, there was a guy who got his eyes gouged out and choked to death on one of his eyes in the front of the building. I was like, that is insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That is
Somebody
crazy.
had commented on one of our posts one of the haunt posts from the season and was like, I wonder if they know the history about the building. And I'm like, wait a minute, I need to find out the history.
Yeah.
So I started looking up murders and different things.
Yeah,
And I was
and
like,
it
I'd
was-
seen that. And I was like, oh shit, okay.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That was pretty neat.
So at least we have one confirmed
Yeah.
possible spirit
Right.
just hanging out.
I'll tell you something else that happened that was pretty interesting. Well, first of all, these pictures were taken in 2011, and I think I did my 200 houses early in 2000. And then we went, my cousin came out again. We went about 4 years ago. We took pictures of the same buildings, and there was one orb. So it's like
Really?
they all left. I don't know what happened.
Well,
But they got the rooms cleaned up a lot more, and
Well, doesn't Hellscream have a lot of stuff from this building?
oh.
I wonder if
Well,
some of them came.
Because we went there, Jeff Vince and I, and Jesse. And I said, I did some haunted houses at the figure some. And the funny thing is, when we went back on 211, there was about 4 of these crazy posters on the floor. They weren't dirty or anything. And it was like 8 or 10 years.
Wow.
They'd been there 8 or 10 years. Nobody disturbed them or whatever. But anyway, we went again a few years later and nothing.
So you provided babysitters?
Yeah.
What?
That's insane. It's almost like we need to do that now.
Well, it's that building's condemned. Oh, you mean here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I swear to God,
Wow.
I sold Vince's. I had an Olzolero,
Yeah.
and he got it for his kid. And before I sold it to him, I was driving down the road, right in front of it's Pikes Peak and Union. I was going east on Pikes Peak about 35, 40 miles an hour, not thinking about anything. I had my hand, it's automatic transmission on the gear shift. The next thing I know, I put it in park, going 35 miles an hour.
Oh,
And I said,
shit.
oh, crap. And I pulled it out and I put it in reverse. I said, I just ruined my frickin' car.
Just ruined that transmission.
Somehow I got it neutral.
Yeah.
The car coasted and it coasted. I turned it into a parking lot and I'm looking at the building. I swear to God. It was
Wow.
really strange.
That's insane.
That was really, really strange.
Oh. That's wild. So would you say you're pretty like sensitive to paranormal?
I'm not. And I'm
Yeah.
really, I'm really, I'm a seeing is believing guy.
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't have saw this stuff, I'm really skeptical. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
believed any of that. But
Yeah.
I've seen a few things over the years that's it's just kind of interesting.
It's cool. Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
the beginning of this year, we went to the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum in
Yeah.
Las Vegas. Really, really awesome place. But it kind of changed my mind about certain things and stuff like that because like that, if you don't know Zach Bagans, he does ghost adventures. And so he has a museum that he collected all these artifacts and people sent him stuff that's like haunted.
Yeah.
And like there are some weird feelings in there. Like
Yeah.
the weirdest is like Bela Lugosi's mirror. Because he used to try to astral project in the mirror and he died in front of the mirror. It was
Did he? Ah.
freaking weird, dude. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, that mirror's creepy.
Yeah. There's
got some
they have
history
some
behind it.
really
I like to go on ghost walks.
Yeah.
That's kind of
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
I still want to do the one here. I see the guy all the time because I work at a club downtown too.
Sure.
So I see the guy all the time, and I'm like, that guy is so awesome. Like with the people and everything, he's like interactive and everything. And I'm like, man, I need to do this tour.
Right.
So anyway, after I got those orbs, I went home and I did some research, and these are some pictures, public pictures of orbs, and I'm telling you, I think those things look a lot like
So they're the same. Yeah.
like what's on there. And, nobody knows what they are. I know one thing: what they're not. It wasn't a dirty camera.
No.
There's a fluorescent one like this guy. I swear to God, that thing would follow you around from room to room.
And there's not enough like things that are reflective that would have let
No,
that many light reflections.
Wow.
man, that one I don't know how many's
That's
in
crazy.
there, but there's a bunch of them. But that one fluorescent one, I swear to God, if you look at that kind of closely, it just has a different little color to it. And
Right.
It's almost like following you around and stuff.
That's crazy. Yeah, but the Zach Bagans thing If you get a chance to go, I highly recommend
I would
it.
like to. Where's that at?
It's in Las Vegas. It's in downtown Las Vegas.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you'd like it a lot.
It's freaking amazing. There's a series on HBO Max.
Yeah.
That's called I forget what it's called, but it's about artifacts that they have at the museum and stuff like that. And they have the people like the doll that they have there that's based on Annabelle.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have, the people who
original
own the
one.
the doll before that, and they interview the people who owned the doll before it went to the museum. It's really, really cool. And man, that doll's creepy. Like they have a wall there with notes. Because when you go into the doll's room, you got to say hi, and you got to say bye when you leave, and you got to show respect to the doll.
Yeah.
Well, people didn't, and they felt like the doll cursed their life.
Oh,
And
geez.
so they have a whole wall of like apology letters to the doll.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a wild place, dude.
Keep
It's
the curse away. Apologies.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it's
walk in and
weird.
be like, "Hey, dog, what's up?" And then when you leave, bye, see you later.
yeah,
Well, the attic Jesse did at Hellscream.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's just full of Union Printer stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
All that.
Yeah, you
stuff.
didn't know that? Yeah, almost every bag and like clothing item and stuff was all from leftover from there.
Hilarious.
And the one place where the closet is, if you notice, there's a bunch of doctor bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was from there too, wasn't it?
Every one of them.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they've been opened.
I think Jesse said he looked
Probably-
at them, but
probably
nothing
did.
like
Yeah.
too intriguing. Like he was like,
Oh,
"All
yeah.
right, that's it."
It's a bag.
But the Union Printer's home is pretty interesting.
That place is crazy.
But somebody bought it and they're gonna try, I think, kind of keep it like it was, but they're gonna have
okay.
restaurants and things in there.
Oh, neat.
It's gonna be haunted as shit.
But they actually
Yeah,
had
right.
they actually had a kind of a jail in one of the deals where people had Alzheimer's. They didn't know what it was, so they put them in there and stuff. And they did autopsies down there. There was a
No
table.
way.
Oh yeah,
Fit for an autopsy.
That place is crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate people going there, but
Yeah, put a restaurant in there now.
ask Jesse about that.
Just hear me out. Could be a bar down there.
Right?
There you go.
God.
It's like
Be
super
like Bobby
morbid.
Mackey's.
Yeah. Just like the bar is like the old like examination table.
That would be good.
Bobby Mackey's.
I got plans. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. If you ever get a chance to go to Bobby Mackey's too in Kentucky,
Yeah.
it's kind of, I don't know. To me, it's kind of hokey, but at the same time, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it could be haunted. I definitely feel entities when you walk in, you can kind of feel it, but is it as drastic as they say? Probably not. I think like the whole, like, go to the bathroom with a buddy or else you're going to get beat up by the ghosts and nothing's going to be, there's going to be no sign of it. No kidding, because the locals knock the shit out of you. Like they see you go in there by yourself and they don't like you, they beat you up. Like,
Well,
that's-
you know what? Joke's on them. My
Yeah.
kink is ghosts. Beat me up, ghost daddy.
right? Nah, it's a pretty cool place. Like if you're like traveling, you stop in, say hi to it, and leave.
So you guys know the history of Hellscream?
Kinda.
Kind of. Do you know the exact history of the building?
I was there.
He was there.
Oh, well.
Well, not the history of the building. I'm talking about the history of Hellscream.
I've heard things. I
Yeah.
want to know it. I want to hear it from
The guy.
the guy. Like
Well-
I've heard it from the guy's guys.
Jeff and I, we were trying to come up with some places that have haunted houses and stuff. And one of them was Pinello's Ranch. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's right next to Vinatucci's, who does all the pumpkins.
Oh, okay.
So we found this freaking awesome place, Jeff and I. And it's an old cottonwood trees right down by a creek. Oh, and I'm talking about creepy. We had tractors lined up. We had hayride lined up. We had a building lined up. We got permission from so CU, Colorado Springs Utilities, runs that land out, and they store stuff there.
Okay.
So we went to the guy in charge, and he gave us permission. We were going to work with him and do all that stuff. And so we were actually I was building another UFO in the trees to come
nice.
down. And we were trying to think, well, how are we going to do this? And there was a kind of like a garage, narrow garage, that's where people would start. That'd be
Okay.
kind of haunted. They'd get on these trailers, and then I don't know, it was at least a 25, 30-minute ride.
Oh, wow.
Down by the creek. And
Oh, wow.
I'm talking about freaking creepy. So Jeff and I, we started building that stuff. And then this guy came back and he was second in command. I think his name was Larry Small. I don't know what his name was, but he said, there is no way that we're going to be known with a haunted house here.
Oh.
So all the work we put in, everything else, he says, you guys are out of here. And like tomorrow. So we had to tear all this stuff down, even though his boss gave us permission. This guy, he was not hearing anything about it. I think that could have been one of the best outdoor haunted houses in the country.
It sounds like it, yeah.
This guy was, I was so mad. I felt like chewing nails. So anyway, Jeff and I bought this kind of a semi-trailer, and it would open up, and you could, it's kind of like not a roller coaster, but little cars like that. And they would go through it. And it
like
was
a dark ride.
Yeah, it was a dark ride.
Yeah.
So we put some brand new plywood in, and Jeff's really good at the electronics and did all that stuff. And we're going to do laser tag. So, you're driving through there and you'd be shooting stuff with your laser guns.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
It was really, really, really neat. And so we needed a place to store it. So Jeff went out and to Mr. Biggs, and that's where I think, that's where Vince's Hellscream was, his Hellscream. And Jeff and him really hit it off good. But Vince just went through hell. Vince, I think, borrowed money. He went through all of his life savings, and they had a horrible year. And the Hellscream was gone. Never to return,
Man.
probably. I can't say for sure.
Yeah.
But Vince, he has a drive like me. I mean, crazy. If it's going to be done, Vince would find a way to do it.
Right.
But he, at that time, reached the end of his rope. And the only reason Hellscream is here now, the only reason is because of Jeff.
Oh, wow.
Zero.
Damn,
He's the only reason.
Yeah.
So we rented a place on a Centennial in Garden of the Gods. It's an old workout place. And so we took a lot of stuff Vince had. Jeff made a lot of animatronics.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of them are, I've heard he made a bunch of them.
Well, that's another story. But anyway, we did really well in there, for the first year and stuff. And it was good. It was, there was part of it is a couple stories. And then Jeff, we found a place. I think Vince's wife maybe told us about this place, Hellscream. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Jeff went down there and make a long story short, Jeff bought the whole building. We couldn't have bought the building.
Yeah.
That was it. So because of that and all this other stuff, Jeff really, really is the nuts and bolts of Hellscream. That's no doubt about it. We like Hellscream. We were thinking about changing the name,
which is kind of crazy because he's such a behind-the-scenes guy.
Jeff doesn't say anything. And he's really humble.
And I've offered it. I was like, he was like one of the first people I went to. I was like,
yeah,
you gonna do this podcast? Do you want to be a guest? He was like, nah.
Yeah.
And then finally he was like, my company won't let me talk about it. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, that's true. And he was he was worried about that.
And I'm like, come on. It's fine.
But anyway, let's see. Jeff built, going from Centennial to Hellscream, he built the most awesome animatronics you ever saw. I mean, he built things like it was like a door, and you could see this monster coming up. And we got some of the ideas from other places, but he built it. And then this monster would hit the door, and there would be bulges in the door where he hit it.
Yeah.
And he built one animatronic after another. And then Waldo Canyon fire came in about 2012, burnt his house down.
Oh, shit.
I mean, everything that was in there was gone. But his wife, Jeff was out of town. His wife took some videos of that. And she went through there and she took pictures of all the animatronics and all the stuff in her house. And the insurance company paid off like slot machine.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So the bottom line is Jeff, he made so much money on those animatronics because they would compare what Jeff built.
To an actual
Yeah,
company.
he got thousands of dollars.
Oh, wow.
So then we went out and we bought, with the money he got, the animatronics that he lost in the fire.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then just before we opened up at Hellscream, we didn't have a place to put it because we were going to be out of there, but we thought we'd get this. So we took the stuff out to Vince's. He had a big barn out there.
Right.
And all this stuff was in there. And damn it, if another fire didn't come.
Shit.
We didn't have no insurance. We didn't have any insurance.
Oh, man.
So I think Vince calls us up, and there was a friend of his that had a big truck, and we rented a truck, and we were flying out there, and we threw all this stuff in the truck, and there's a wall of freaking flames coming, or smoke coming at us.
Oh, shit.
And just before they closed the streets down, we got all that stuff out of there. We took it to Hellscream, and we dumped it off. So that's
crazy.
And if that would have happened again, I don't know what we would have done. And I think we started working on Hellscream in April that year, something like that. Had to breach 16 walls because you had to have an entrance and an exit.
Right.
16 walls. And I mean, these guys worked their butts off. I didn't do a lot of that work, but Vince worked his butt off. Jeff worked his butt off. A lot of these guys worked their butts off. Vince is a hard worker.
Oh, yeah.
He really is.
A lot of these guys put in so much effort. And
Oh,
work.
you can't
It's
even imagine stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got that thing up and running, and that was 2013, I think. And that was the first year that at Hellscream.
At the actual building.
Yeah.
And another thing, this building here, Jeff bought this building.
Yeah.
This couldn't have been both buildings.
This building was
they
crazy.
wouldn't be here for Jeff.
Right.
Just plain and simple.
Wow.
So we incorporated some of Vince's old Hellscream stuff with a lot of the new stuff that all three of us worked on, and that's where it all came from.
Nice.
Wow.
But that's the history of Hellscream.
That's wild.
Hell yeah. Almost got burned out 2 times.
Twice.
Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, crazy stuff. But as you know, it just gets in your blood. And
I love it. I don't know. I'll never give it up.
I'm telling you, Jesse has added so much to our haunted houses.
His theater background is crazy, and adding that to haunted house stuff and
His techniques and you talk about putting hours in.
yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know how many hours he puts in. No.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But look at the mine here and look at the new ballroom and look at all the stuff he's done. And you know how he got involved in this?
It was
Red Rum.
the escape room thing.
I
or
owned-
the mystery dinner.
Me
or
and another
whatever.
guy owned Red Rum Murder Mystery.
Yeah.
And we had it in there and Jesse just happened to be there.
Yep.
So we picked, what it was is we would pick out somebody, we didn't know who was going to be the murderer,
Right.
sneak them out and then turn them into the murderer. Well, Jesse was the guy we picked. And then he liked that. So then we asked him, well, would you like to be part of this? And Jesse, being Jesse, pretty much, he just about took over the whole thing.
Yeah.
And, and one thing led to another. And I told Jeff and Vince, I said, man, this guy is worth a ton, man. We need to keep him corralled if we can.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
So the stuff he does is, and he's a perfectionist, and he's just unbelievable.
Oh, we were doing that 3D scene downstairs. I was doing the 3D step scene.
Yeah.
A little painting.
Yeah.
And I don't use rulers. So my art style and Jesse's art style are completely on different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So I'm up there and I'm drawing with my chalk, and I'm like, yeah, that looks right. And he comes in and he goes, well, where's the tape measure? Where's the rulers? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Are you
And he's
talking
like, aren't you measuring
the
these?
floors? You did that?
Yeah, I did the main body, but the one wall painting where it's like the stairwell that goes up and around. And he's losing his mind, and he's like, "Are you sure you don't want to use a ruler?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm cool." And I'm like drawing in, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And so then he comes in with a ruler, and he's like, "Here, let's just double check." And I'm like, "Jesse, shut up."
I'll tell you what, you did an outstanding job on that. And
Thank you.
that 3-dimensional thing, I didn't know the history of that. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, he asked me. So I did a small portion of stone steps over at the old Haunted Mines building. I think it was the last year that they were there. And when they did like the little cemetery walkthrough, I did 2 little sections there, and Jesse really liked it. And he was like, "Hey, do you think you could do that at Hellscream?" And I was like, "Sure." So I did it from the end of the wine cellar all the way around the little trapdoor thing, and then through the catacombs up until the coffin room. And then he finished out the coffin room and then stopped there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't do it without guys like you, and I know you've done a lot too, Chris, and some of the guys.
Yeah, I've done less than other guys, but I helped put together the wine cellar. That's something I did.
That
help
wine
do.
cellar is beautiful.
Yeah,
though.
I helped Jesse do all the cutting. I helped rip apart the clown when it was the clown room for that 1 year.
Yeah.
So I helped rip all that crap out of there and help lay down the floors and put the bottles in and do all that stuff. And
I'll tell you what.
I want to get back involved in that, but it's just like life got so busy for a while.
Do you know
It's
where
just
the bottles
pretty
came
difficult.
from?
Huh?
Isn't that
Oh,
your?
yeah. Are you a wino?
No, well, kind of. We would go to Jake and Telly's. It's a Greek restaurant, and every Monday they got $10 bottles of wine.
Oh no shit.
So every time I would go there, I would get all these bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? They're $10.
Because Jesse wanted to make that. And
Right.
I think we had
You just
over
collect their
800 freaking bottles.
Oh, there was a ton.
Cases
ton.
and
I
cases
remember
and
when
cases,
when
yeah.
he did it, and he was like, "I still have bottles. What do I do with them?" And I'm like,
How did you guys make them look so old? Because that was
"That's all Jesse.
That's Jesse. Yeah,
totally all Jesse."
Because once it got to the painting phase and stuff like that, he was like, "Nah, I'm painting. I don't need help." So that's all
they
Jesse.
look so good.
Yeah.
They
I
look
think
so
I
good.
was actually doing work at Haunted Mines while he was building the wine cellar, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
While he was doing that, because he was like, "Hey, look what I did." And I was like, "Holy shit, what did you do? This is amazing."
And that water wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
That
thing
works.
is crazy.
Oh, yeah. Look at, it's no wonder Hellscream is number one.
Some of the scenes in these 2 buildings are just crazy.
Yeah.
And I've seen, because I've been to a few haunts this year. I went and seen a bunch out in Nebraska and Iowa, and I've seen some scenes in those places. And there's a couple scenes here and there, like you can pick out from the different haunts. But if you collectively put them all together, it would be kind of like what you see at our haunts. And but they, like I said, they had great scenes.
Oh,
and things.
sure.
So we need to get some more of the like big national
Yeah.
review teams and stuff out here.
Yeah.
I know us, being ranked high on what is it? Scare Factor is a big deal and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But it would be cool to get some more of the vloggers and stuff
Oh,
to
I
come
agree.
out.
Sure.
We talked to one guy who does that on the
Yeah.
East Coast, and he's been to haunted houses up and down, and he's got like 2 sets of review teams he sends out to places and stuff like
Wow.
that. Yeah, it's really, really cool.
We've got another guy coming out next year. He wants to review. He did. He came out 2 years ago, and then he skipped this year because he stayed more on the East Coast. But he's going to come out back to the West Side next year again. So I've been in contact
good.
with him for the
Yeah,
couple
yeah,
months. I talked to a couple more like review teams while I was out in Nebraska because I seen them walking around. I was like, "Hey, you guys ever in Colorado?" And they're like, "Yeah, actually."
That would be neat. That would be really, really
Yeah.
neat. We don't have enough of them, so that would be awesome.
I'm trying
Great.
to pick up people. I don't know. I know he's talking to people all the time.
I'm trying. I'm
I'm
trying.
talking to people.
That's all you can do is try.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What the worst they say is no.
Exactly. That's what I do. I'm
no,
like,
I don't want to come on
hey.
your podcast.
exactly. Like
So
it's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff.
And then some people you meet and you're like, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah,
later.
like
I
my
don't ever want to talk to you again.
yeah, my girlfriend's always like,
enough. Thank you. Sorry. Bye.
it's always
the
like,
door hit you.
are we done with the haunted house stuff yet? Because I'm always like looking at reviews
Yep.
and
Sure.
just different walkthroughs of different haunted houses from these vloggers and stuff that's out there. And
Oh,
some
dude,
really incredible stuff out there. Like my favorite one recently is the one in Utah. I forget what the hell that one's called. I always forget the name of it. It's in a cement factory.
Shit, I know exactly
Oh,
what
I
you're
think
talking
I heard
about.
of that.
Yeah. And
Our
that
friend,
place-
my friend works there.
Yeah.
I double checked. She does work there.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
you should get a hold of your friend. I want to talk to your friend. That place is awesome, dude, because it's in an old cement factory, and you have to go up the tower, and then they have a skywalk that's like
You can
a couple
see
hundred feet to the
down.
ground, and people have to walk across
whiz.
it.
And they have haunting going on, so you can see what's going on too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like your break.
Yeah.
But it's not a break.
Yeah.
Because you're so high up, you're like, fuck me.
Have you ever been to Bishop's Castle?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, it's really
Those are
cool.
kinda
Amazingly enough, I've never been there.
They got some outside scaffolding. I don't know if they're
that
still there or
place
not.
is so sketchy, dude.
I want to dress up as Wizzo and get pictures there because I've heard so many things about it, and I've seen pictures. Dolores has been there; she loves it. She's like, I won't go to certain parts of it because it's sketchy as shit. She's like, but you would, and I know you would. And I was
yeah,
I'm
sketchy as
100%. I'm going. If it's sketchy, I'm in.
All right.
I know they've done weddings there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he got a potbelly stove and he made a dragon, and I guess you like that in a dragon shoots out smoke and stuff.
Oh hell yeah!
I mean, it is. I've been following this guy for many, many, many years. I think he might retired. I don't know.
I think he finally stopped building like a year or two ago.
I think the county out there was giving him a hard time too.
Yeah, because none of it was like actually sanctioned builds.
So a sad story with him. Many years ago, he did all his work pretty much himself, but he had a crane, and there was a pine tree, and he was trying to pull the pine tree back, and he was cutting the pine tree with his saw.
Right.
He almost had it completely cut in two, and he ran out of gas. And the roots and stuff were up, and his little kid got underneath that, and it broke.
Oh no!
Yeah.
You know, that's the story I heard.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's rough.
That's probably why he never left. Honestly, like he never leaves.
Yeah, yeah. But this guy's, I don't know how strong he must be.
Oh, he's probably like a damn ox.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that place is crazy, dude.
His hand grip is probably insane.
Are you kidding?
Like give him one of those hand test things, and he's like,
Well, people that work with cement anyway, just regular,
no kidding.
normal,
Yeah,
they are
or
so
welders
freaking
or-
strong.
Yeah.
I got puny chef hands that
I did steel construction for a while, and
Very articulate though.
but I did steel construction, and I had an insane grip for a while, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm tiny.
on
Why
the-
do I have a good grip?
Isn't
on the
Yes.
other hand, you need me to grab a hold of something hot. Not
Right?
a problem. You got it. It's only 350 degrees. Not a big deal.
Oh God,
You're telling us the temperature by touching it. 263.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, cool.
The craziest, do you guys know what a salamander is? Like in a restaurant,
Yeah.
restaurant equipment.
That's
Okay.
what, use the heat things, right?
Yeah, so they usually
okay,
sit
yeah.
up here.
Yeah.
And like if you have to brown mashed potatoes or
Oh, I didn't know that.
stick that up there.
Yeah,
well, so I worked at this place and we did individual pot pies in like little cast irons. So we'd put that up there to brown the mashed potatoes. And I watched the sous chef, I was just a puny little line cook, grab it out of the salamander. And those things are like 500 degrees. Those things
Oh
are so hot. And I
God.
was like, that guy's got some next level like hot hands. That is the most crazy thing I've seen in a restaurant. I was like, that dude, oh my God, how? How did you just burn your nerve endings off your hand?
That's insane. No
Yeah.
thanks.
Huh?
I get mad when I touch something that's like 25 degrees above what it's supposed to. I'm like,
Yeah, that dude just reached up there
Spicy.
and grabbed it. I was like, oh my God.
not as spicy.
I got some rubber gloves I just bought the other day. They're 4 mils, pretty thick gloves, and you can pick up pretty hot things with that.
Right.
And I'm cutting stickers and crap out, and you can grab the stickers. I love those things, man. I love them. But my hands are pretty sensitive. They wouldn't be like yours at all.
Yeah, I can grab like out of a fryer and grab like chicken tenders.
Yeah, no.
As soon as the basket comes out, I'll just grab a handful of them. It's fine.
So Jesse's going to bring something pretty special here, this building next year, if everything goes. I can't tell you. I don't want to tell you. You guys
think
might
I know.
You guys might know, but
I think I know.
He wants to keep it a secret.
Yeah,
I know I've heard rumors of things.
Yeah. But it's going to be
Yeah.
a Jesse thing, and it's going to be pretty darn good.
Oh, yeah.
upstairs.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, that thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we know.
So
We're not saying shit, though.
we need to
Yeah.
get people to come here and
Yeah.
see what he's going to do.
Oh,
next
it's going to be good.
Right. Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Some cool shit.
I'm excited to see.
year. Well, it's been pretty fun.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah. It's
Probably more than you bargained for, huh?
oh no.
No, this was actually perfect. Because this is some good stuff. We can get pictures of these when we're done. We can wrap up and get a couple pictures and put them up during the podcast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that'd
Yeah,
be cool
we're,
stuff.
we're happy to talk to you anytime. Like,
Right?
well, I've had a great time.
I had a great time.
Yeah, it was really cool because it's
Learned
not
some-
every day you get to see, pictures of orbs,
450
an
orbs in
actual
one picture.
a haunted house, and
Well, somebody would have told me about it. I'd have been a little skeptical, but since there they
Yeah.
are, and I did it, so you're more
But
than
this
skeptical.
UFO idea is insane. I love that.
yeah,
That's crazy.
I wonder how that would work with like safety and stuff like that these days, though.
Well, that one of the biggest differences is fire.
Yeah.
Out of city limits and
Oh
in
my
city
God!
limits versus
the
fire
stuff that I
codes.
used to do.
So you wouldn't get away with it.
I don't even know if you have any idea what we have to go through every year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
To pass that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Oh my God.
I did a walkthrough with I think it was Jesse 2 or 3 years ago through Hellscream, and he was like, "All right, this is everything that we're gonna do," and like the checklist was.
Oh,
just
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
good God! And I was like, "Oh my God!"
But just as a kind of a digital fire plan,
Okay.
and the fire prevention guys go over that with a fine tooth comb. You got to have exits. You got to have escape routes. You got to have. We had to sprinkler that thing,
Yeah.
and that was a.
I know that was a big issue with this building was the sprinkler
Oh,
stuff because
yeah.
we started building and started constructing everything, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, surprise, you need sprinklers."
Well, that wasn't a surprise. We knew that.
Damn it.
If it's over 1,000 square feet, you need sprinklers.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And there was a big delay because they had to get the water in.
That's what it was. The delay.
That was a big delay, and we were kind of worried that we wouldn't get it done in time, but we did. But it was about 150,000 just to put in sprinkler at Hellscream,
Yeah. I believe it.
and I mean, geez, Jeff found I think a really good company out of Pueblo, and they did a great job. And I think they might have been the same ones that did this. But nowadays, I would not want to open up a haunted house.
No.
If you were in a
The
small
regulations
community,
are too much.
you could do that.
Like Canyon City.
Like if you're outside of city limits,
Yeah.
because they don't have near as many regulations and shit, and yeah,
Yeah, it makes you wonder about like tearing the corn because it's out in the county. So,
Outside, you
That'd
can
be fun to talk to
kind of
those
get away
guys.
with
Yeah.
a lot.
there's
Yeah.
a lot more you can get.
well, yeah, because they have that one. It wasn't on the day we're there, but they have the tractor that shoots a flame.
fire,
And
yeah.
it wasn't working because of the wind.
Yeah, they said it was too high of winds and they were afraid it was going to burn down the entire cornfield. So I was like, you know what? That's fair. Don't turn it on.
I went to a haunted house in Pueblo one time around the nature walk, and I have never been so nervous in my life for those people. They had about 100 pumpkins with real candles, and the weeds are everywhere.
Oh wow,
And you're in a valley, the wind come up, it probably would have killed some people.
Jesus!
I could not believe that.
Is that the nature center?
Yeah.
Isn't that right next to the river? Just jump in the river.
Yeah.
Jump in the river.
Problem solved.
Yeah, if you could get to the wall of flames, you could hit the river. But the weeds they were this high and the pumpkins were everywhere. And
That's nah.
I could not believe it. I don't know how many years they
Like
did
I've
that.
worked in some sketchy haunts before, but like
That just doesn't sound safe.
yeah, that part doesn't
It
sound
wasn't
safe.
safe.
Like I'm cool with like being on janky land or having janky walls or something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. Like that's okay, cool, whatever. Fall on me, whatever. Bye. You catch me on fire, I'm gonna be mad. Like then I'm gonna be pissed. Like you can puncture me with nails, I don't care.
Says the
Oh,
guy that
shit.
wants a flaming chainsaw.
Yeah, but just don't catch me on fire.
No.
Says the guy that wants a flaming chainsaw where things could go wrong. And
We'll send Chris over to get the fire extinguisher because his
Yeah.
hands are used to that hot stuff.
Right. See,
Yeah.
you carry the fire extinguisher while I've got the fire extinguisher.
oh, okay. I'm the fire guy.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so I'll, and then you spray me down when I
right,
burst
all right.
into flames.
Cool.
I
I'd be
think
like
that's a good plan.
I'd be like the guy from like the flaming table matches. When they put the dude through the flaming table. The safety guys are over there putting them out.
We'll just get you like a big safety outfit. It's just immediately
No, I
catch
just wanna
myself
be-
on fire.
Sort of be dressed as like a pedestrian or like a
Fire Marshal Bill
yeah.
from The Living Color.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey's fire. Let me tell you something. And I'll do everything wrong, burst into flames, and then you put me out. And you're like, see, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Just don't
That's
catch
why you
your
don't play
bear
with
on
fire,
fire.
kids.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I'll be sure to petroleum jelly the shit out of my beard.
I did a deal in Pueblo where you could throw fireballs. It's flash paper.
Yeah.
And my stepdaughter at the time, was doing this deal, and she had a wig on. She sprayed it with hairspray. I mean,
Oh no.
full of hairspray. I didn't know that. So it was Halloween, the last thing through, and somehow she lights this thing and starts to throw it, and it catches her hair on fire.
Shit.
And she rips it off, and she throws it on the ground. Then her mom comes and steps on it and puts the thing out. She burnt her eyelashes, some of her hair. Like, oh God, it was
And
horrible.
that's why we can't have fireballs anymore.
Thanks. That's why I can't have a flamethrower.
Yeah, you ruined it for us already. Making the young guys look bad.
Oh, but that arrow would go up fast. Damn it. Oh, jeez. Yeah. We did some crazy stuff.
I think I'd probably catch myself on fire if I honestly had one. No, I wouldn't.
Well, remember a few years ago we had a lady that spit fire out. She'd blow fire out, put stuff in her mouth. So we had those foam blocks that we got, and that's what we made the cave out of as you leave.
Right.
So she was in the queue line on top of that thing doing this performance. And man, she got exhausted, and next thing you know, some of this crap dribbled down, and it didn't burn her very bad, but it caught the whole block on fire.
Oh, shit.
The foam block was on fire. So
Oh, God.
we got her off of that. We took it and turned the foam block upside down and put it out. But that was kind of
And I'm sure
scary.
everyone that was standing out there was like,
Yeah.
are we going to die right now?
Right.
Well, that was not good because, she was used to that, but I think she didn't want to disappoint all the people in line.
Right.
So she kept going
kept
past
going.
exhaustion, and she got a little bit clumsy and,
It's a bad idea.
that
I
was
started to feel sick that last day. I think it was Halloween night is when I started to feel a little sick.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, like the last hour and a half, I was just doing scares from chairs. I'd sit in a chair and
Scares
just
from
stare at
chairs.
somebody and be like, let me catch you up. Come on, I'm a little lazy today. My legs ain't working. You know, and I'm like, I'm done. My whole body was like just weak. And then that next day I woke up and I was coughing and I actually got sick. And I was like, oh, shit.
Get
was so
dehydrated and get sick and
Yeah.
Yep.
open yourself up for who knows what and stuff. Yeah. It's crazy.
I fared pretty well this year, I feel like.
Yeah.
Usually I get sick right after haunt season.
Yeah.
Fared pretty well. So this year, last year, I didn't make blackout last year because I was sick. So I was in a situation like you last year. Like,
Dolores was too. She was our last day.
it was rough last year. It was really, really
I just
bad.
didn't take care of myself this season, I think.
Yeah.
Because I was traveling. I was back and forth between the haunt and then doing other
Right.
shit and regular work. And then it was
Well, that's what happened. Because like last year, I got really sick after haunt season.
Yeah.
But I was also working like 50 hours a week.
Yeah, you were
plus
nonstop last season.
doing haunted house. So like I'd work like 9 hours on my regular job and then go act at Hellscream.
I know.
run
I
around for
remember
5
you coming
hours.
down and
There's
stuff.
a ton of you guys that do that.
I know, I know.
My
Yeah.
first year I did it, and then I was like, nah, I don't
Do
need
you
it.
you don't live in Canyon City, do you? Yeah. You moved a couple years ago or last year?
A few years ago.
A few years
It's
ago.
been
Yeah.
4 now, I
Yeah.
think. But yeah, because fuck Kenyon. There's no opportunity for kids like me there.
Is that where you got to be a chef? Was there?
Well, so what happened is I worked, so I got a job at Royal Gorge Bridge and Park
Okay.
with their food company and retail company. They contract, the company's called KMS SSA, and they do food and retail for amusement parks and zoos all across the country. They have like 50 properties plus. Just here in the United States, like San Diego Zoo, Houston Zoo, Denver Zoo, Cheyenne Mountain. They have the food contract for the National Stock Show.
Wow.
So you know the big stock show, the biggest
Yeah,
stock
Denver,
show
yeah.
in the United States every year.
Yeah.
They have the exclusive food contract for that. They do all the catering and all that. So it's like a pretty big company. So I got a job up there. I met the chef. He's named Spo Green, and shout out to that man. He's a pretty cool dude. But yeah, I met him and he showed me a lot. And then he got transferred. He got transferred back out here to the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. And he was like, "Well, you're such an awesome line cook. Come back out here and work with me." And so that's kind of how I got involved in like
Nice.
doing food and stuff like
Good
that.
contact. Yeah.
And yeah, it was a cool company. I got to do stock show one year, and that was
nice.
working a month straight, 16 hours a day without a day off.
well, that was cool.
But
That sounds fun.
So I
but
did.
on the other hand, they put us up in a hotel and paid for all of our food, and it was a cool experience. I no longer work for that company
Yeah.
because COVID, really did them. I have a friend that
I
works
did
for
a
them now.
job for sure. And there, a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, it really screwed a lot of people. And the people who I was roommates with at the time, we all worked like for the same company. Like me and my roommate, and then our friends, both of them worked for that company, and we all lost our job on the same day.
No.
So, when they were like, "Oh, stay home," nah, we were out drinking margaritas and having COVID parties. None of us got sick though.
Good memories, old kind of.
Yeah,
You remember in the pandemic?
good times.
Yeah, many years ago. Yeah.
Right.
It was a wild time. Hellscream was wild that year, even.
Oh man, that was terrible.
It was terrible.
God, that was stupid. Every single customer. You're not 6 feet away. Shut up. Hit him with a chainsaw. Get out of my face.
That was a bad year.
Yeah,
That was interesting.
But we still
For
did pretty good
everybody.
considering.
That was insane, the amount of people that still came through. I was
Right.
like, are you shitting me?
there's some nights where we were pretty busy.
Everybody said, screw COVID.
Yeah.
Came in, they're
Yeah.
like, nah, fuck this. We're going.
Well, it's a good escape doing
Yeah.
something, just
Right.
not think about it.
I'm
Just-
glad that we
just go.
didn't back down and we stood open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was a good deal.
Yeah. A lot of obstacles to overcome.
Oh,
No
yeah.
doubt about
it
it.
was really cool though. It was really, really cool.
I think it created a lot of characters, though. Like idea-wise, like I know it helped me develop Wizzo into what he is now because of the mask thing. So like I've continued to stick
Yeah,
with the
you
mask.
used to
I'm
it.
going to continue to
Yeah.
keep on doing the mask thing. It's actually kept me pretty healthy outside of like this year. It actually keeps me pretty healthy through the season. Like I know a couple other characters that have gone full mask now that have just stayed with masks since COVID. So I'm like, maybe it was a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just wrapped an ace bandage around my head and called it good.
Yeah, you did.
I was like,
Every night he was like, screw it. Just wrap up.
You never got COVID.
No.
Yo, I did get that COVID that Thanksgiving.
Did you?
I was going to say,
Yeah. Yeah, I had it like a few weeks after Hunt ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I blame the grocery store I worked at. It's their fault.
Some gross fuckers.
Had nothing to do with
Nah. Being around.
screaming at people
No,
and being
Being
crazy,
around a couple thousand people a night.
yelling at Bigfoots and
That was a crazy disease. It is a crazy disease.
Right.
It just seemed like it killed a lot more at the beginning. So I think it was more powerful or something. I don't know what happened.
well, from what I understand, it was like they're putting people on ventilators who didn't need to be on ventilators,
Yeah.
and that killed people because their lungs got used to not working. And then
Yeah.
that's what really killed a lot of people. That and like older folks who got
Sure. Yeah.
and maybe they already had like asthma and maybe they had COPD and they smoked cigarettes for 30 years and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So that was just the final.
Put him over the edge.
But
Yeah.
it could have been the flu.
Right.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah. They quit talking about flu deaths. They just talked about COVID deaths.
Which is kind of wild, right? Because
This guy had a motorcycle wreck. He died, but he had COVID, and that's killed him.
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll count that.
I used to love that.
We'll count that.
And they're like, cause of death, COVID.
Yeah.
He got decapitated. Yeah, COVID did it. Oh, neat.
was it Covidius?
That's about right.
Right? I wanted to make that character so damn bad. So that COVID year, we were coming up with character ideas and stuff, and I was like, I want to be Covidius. And Jesse was like, no, it's too close. And I was like, exactly.
That could have been pretty
Let's
neat.
just do it. Let me be a Dr. Covidius, and then I'll just go and just sneeze on people. And he was like, no, you can't do that.
Up there working on the illusion with
Yeah.
that'd have been perfect.
Uh-huh. Just
That
pretend
would've
sneeze
really
on
been-
people. Put plexiglass up all around you and just
Hilarious.
Spray bottle.
uh-huh. It'd be great.
Right.
Get like
I
a
think
little-
a plexiglass room would be great anyway.
I think that doctor's room up there needs to be plexiglass, and there needs to be sponges with like liquid inside of them.
Like blood.
Light
Yeah.
the room a little different to where it looks
Yeah.
like blood once you get in there, but take those sponges out of the stomach and throw them
Oh,
against
that'd
the
be something.
plexiglass so
Yeah.
it's closer to the guest,
That would be pretty
and it would
neat.
smack and they'd jump back.
See, we're on the. That's
I think
exactly
I
the same
think
thing I
that
was
would be
thinking.
more effective than the spark cage in that
Yeah,
room.
because half the time the spark cage
Yeah.
dies out because it's ran on a car battery.
Well, that and you
Yeah.
you kick the fucking wire off of it half
Sure.
the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
I did a deal where I had this monster guy, I forgot what he was, but he picked up a body and he threw it at the audience, and he was on a bungee cord. That thing had just about hit him. It bounced back.
Oh, hilarious.
Yes.
That was pretty fun.
We need to do that again.
Yeah.
Let's do that again.
Yeah.
Because people aren't scared of just like, I don't know. I've noticed that this year again. Like a lot of people weren't scared of the normal scares that we're used to, like that we've been doing. It's almost like they have to have something like thrown at them or stationary and then move. Like I noticed a lot with the ballroom this year. The more scares that we got in that room were the stagnant scares, where a lot of people went into a pose and just became mannequins and then immediately went after them. I noticed there was a lot more of that.
You're right.
And it might just have been in that room.
I think it was, because I mean, I was doing my normal thing. I got tons of turn around, get this person because they weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
I think one of the rooms I made that got one of the most scares was I went to a pet store and they became my sponsor. So I got rats and mice and snakes and all kinds of crap.
Yes.
And I told you each one of my rooms had 50 people.
Right.
So I built these things out of plywood, and I built them out of 5-gallon buckets, and that was the benches. Then I drilled a hole through all the benches, and I put a pipe in there, but I put these rubber pieces of rubber on there. And then I put a crank on the end, so 2 people could turn this and affect 50 people sitting there at once.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, I had these people, kind of creepy people in black hoods, and they were walking around. They were carrying rats, and they were carrying mice and snakes, and they were showing all these people, and everybody get kind of creeped out. And in the middle of the thing, I had a plastic garbage can, and I had them pull this up, and I had 4 rats. They weren't real; they were rubber. And each rat would go right towards one of the benches, and then the lights would go off. The strobe light would come on, and you could see the rats coming at you. Then all the lights go off, and the next thing you know, they turn these cranks, and it was like the rats running up their legs.
Oh, hilarious.
They were jumping on the benches, peeing, screaming. That was one of my favorite ones.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
That was pretty fun.
That's really cool.
That's great.
That's really cool. Because I know, like, the thing, like we said, the timed room thing, you know, like you used to do. Like, 17 Door does that.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, people seek that kind of stuff out.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know about 17th Door, but they're like an extreme haunted house. Like, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff to their pork, shocking their customers and shaving their heads.
Heard about that. Yeah.
But it's like a legit haunt that people sign up for, and they're, you know, very busy.
You sign waivers. I think.
Yeah, it's not like the Macklemore Manor or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
That fucking guy. But it's like a legit thing where they like doing all kinds of stuff. They have a reality show online about it too, which is pretty cool.
So I got this idea. I think it was Disneyland or Disney World. I don't know. It was some kind of a 3D reality show, and they dumped this bucket of mice out, and the mice are like running right at you. It looked like they were coming right at you. And I don't know if they did air or something on your legs.
Yeah.
And that was working pretty good. So that's where I got that idea about that.
Well, I know that the Spear that just opened in Vegas, that thing has like, it's huge, but I think 100,000 seats of it is like interactive. So like the seats vibrate.
Sure, yeah.
The floor moves and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that.
Yeah. That's cool stuff.
I like interacting.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for doing this, I think.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Make that
hanging
wrap.
out with us.
Yeah. You're welcome back on anytime.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got to get you back on and get some more cool stories.
So you guys want to just use these pictures then?
Yeah, we're going to take some
we'll take
pictures.
pictures.
And do all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.